There was no anger in his voice. Only sorrow. I didn't know what to say. What words could fix something so broken? So I said nothing. I just stood beside him, silent. The wind rustled the flowers. A single petal floated to the ground. And in that quiet garden, something strange began to happen. Two broken souls, one cursed by magic, the other by cruelty, stood side by side. Not talking about love. Not dreaming of destiny. Just sharing the silence. And though I didn't know it yet, something inside both of us had begun to shift. Something real. Something that might save us both. The days that followed passed like a quiet dream. Every morning, I walked with Kale in the East Garden. The mansion still felt strange, like a place I didn't belong. But the garden? The garden was different. It felt safe. Peaceful. Alive. At first, I kept my distance. But slowly, I stopped flinching when he came near. He never barked. Never growled. He just watched me with those deep blue eyes. Eyes that seemed to carry centuries of silence. One morning, we sat beneath the old sycamore tree. The breeze rustled the leaves. Somewhere in the distance, birds sang like they didn't know sorrow. And I finally asked what had been burning inside me. Why were you cursed? Kale didn't answer right away. He looked toward the sky. I broke the heart of someone who truly loved me, he said at last. I mocked her. Used her. And then threw her away. My chest tightened. Was she a witch? I asked quietly. No, he said. But her mother was. I waited. The witch came to me, disguised as a poor maiden. She begged for shelter. I laughed at her. Called her ugly. Dirty. I didn't care who she was. He sighed. That night, she returned in her true form and cursed me. His voice never rose. He didn't sound angry. Just tired. She said I would remain a beast until someone who had suffered more than I had could look at me and not run. He turned to me slowly. Someone pure. Someone kind. I swallowed hard. Why me? You were not brought here to save me, he said gently. You were sold. That is your truth. But maybe fate brought you here for more. I looked at him. He had once been cruel, like my parents. Like my brothers. But now, he was trapped. Caged by a curse. Just like me. Do you believe the curse can be broken? I asked. He was quiet for a long time. I used to hope, he said. But every girl they brought here ran. Screamed. Called me a monster. Some fainted. One tried to stab me. None ever stayed. I thought of the way my parents had handed me over. No goodbye. No tears. Just money on the table. And here I was, sitting next to a beast who listened better than anyone ever had. Then he asked, if you could leave right now, if the gates opened and your parents begged you to return, would you go? I closed my eyes. I remembered the cold kitchen floor. The bruises. The silence. The way they fed me last and never said they loved me. No, I whispered. I'd rather stay with a cursed dog than go back to people who sold me like meat. Kale looked at me then, not with sorrow, but something warmer. Hope. You're different, he said. I didn't know how to respond. But something inside me, something buried under years of pain, was beginning to stir. Something soft. Something real. The mansion no longer felt like a cage. I found myself exploring new rooms filled with impossible things, books that whispered, candles that floated, a garden that changed colors with my mood. And somehow, Kale was always near. Sometimes from a distance. Sometimes watching silently. But always near. I started talking to him more, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. He listened when I told him how Mama said I was useless. He didn't brush it off. When I told him how I cried into my mat at night, he didn't say, "Be strong." He just said, "You didn't deserve that." And he meant it. One morning, I came downstairs and found the dining table set for two. Cale was waiting at the head of the table. When he saw me, he stood. "Would you join me for breakfast?" I smiled. "I'd like that." At first, we ate in silence. But then we started to laugh. I told him how I once hid my brother's report card so I could feel like I was going to school too. He let out a low growl. "That's not funny, Hope. You should have been in school." His anger didn't scare me. It warmed me. It meant he cared. After breakfast, his tone changed. "There's something I want to show you," he said. "A secret room." We walked behind the library, down a narrow staircase lit with soft golden light. At the bottom was a glass chamber, glowing from within. In the center stood a single giant rose, golden and somehow alive. "What is this?" I whispered. "This," he said softly, "is the heart of the curse." He turned toward me, his eyes full of sadness. "If that rose dies before I am truly loved, not pitied, not feared, but truly loved, I will remain this way forever." I stared at the shimmering petals, breathless. Because this time, it wasn't just his story. It was mine too. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat by the window, watching the moon rise, full and silver, glowing like a secret in the sky. I couldn't stop thinking about the golden rose. The way it shimmered like it was breathing. Every time a petal trembled, it felt like a whisper. A warning. What kind of pain could trap a soul inside a beast's body? What kind of curse needed love, not magic, to break? Cale hadn't said much after showing me the rose. He just turned and walked away, shoulders low. But his sadness? It stayed. It wrapped around the castle like a fog. "I must be truly loved," he had said. "Or I'll remain this way forever." But how could I love someone I didn't fully understand? How could anyone? The next morning, I wandered back into the library, hoping to find answers. Books lined every wall, some dusty, some glowing faintly. My fingers traced their spines until one of them pulsed beneath my touch. I pulled it out. The Curse of the Forgotten Prince. I opened it carefully. The pages told the story of a young prince, kind but proud, powerful but lonely. One day, a poor old woman came to his gates, begging for shelter. He laughed in her face. Called her ugly. Mocked her. But she wasn't just a beggar. She was a sorceress. And that night, she cursed him, to live as a beast until someone could look past the fur, the teeth, the anger, and see the man within. I turned to the last page. The words shimmered in gold. Only the purest form of love, freely given, without condition, can break the spell. I closed the book, heart pounding. This wasn't just a legend. This was Cale. And now, somehow, this story was mine too. That night, I found him in the garden, alone beneath the stars. The roses around him glowed in the moonlight. He was still staring at the sky, like it held the answers to everything. I didn't say a word. I just stepped forward slowly and held out my hand. "Dance with me," I said softly. He looked at me like I'd spoken a spell, confused, hurt, hopeful. "Dance?" he asked. "Hope, I don't look like someone you dance with." I shook my head. "I didn't ask what you look like. I asked you to dance." Slowly, unsure, he placed his paw in my hand. His touch was rough. Heavy. But I didn't let go. I led him into the clearing beneath the old sycamore tree. There was no music, just the rustling leaves, the rhythm of the wind, the beat of my heart. We moved slowly. Awkwardly at first. His steps unsure. But I stayed. I held on. And then something happened. Magic. The garden shimmered. Tiny lights rose from the ground like stars set free. The roses opened wider. The air filled with sweetness and warmth. And somewhere far away, a melody drifted through the breeze. Not from instruments, but from the castle itself. He looked at me, truly looked at me. "You're not like anyone I've ever met," he said quietly. I smiled. "I'm just a girl. One who was forgotten, just like you." His face changed. The sorrow didn't vanish, but it softened. We danced until the stars faded. Until the moon sank behind the trees. And when we stopped, he bowed, a real bow, like a prince. "Thank you," he whispered. "For seeing me." And for the first time in my life, I felt seen. I felt chosen. And somehow, I knew that this story wasn't just about curses or roses or beasts. It was about becoming whole. The next morning, I woke in the softest bed I had ever known, silk sheets, a pillow that smelled faintly of roses. Sunlight streamed through the velvet curtains. For a few seconds, I forgot everything, the curse, the mansion, the past. But then I looked at the mirror on the wall. And something happened. The surface of the glass rippled like water. Then slowly, a face appeared. A woman. She had long silver hair, skin like moonlight, and eyes that glowed with power and sadness. Her smile was gentle. Almost motherly. "Hope," she said softly. "You're changing everything." I froze, stepping back. Who are you?" "I am the guardian of this place," she replied. "This castle was built on magic, love and sacrifice. But it has been asleep until you arrived." "Why me?" I whispered. "I'm just a girl nobody wanted. A girl they sold for money." Her eyes softened. "No. You are more than that. You have the rarest gift, a heart that sees beyond the surface. A heart that can love even after pain." I felt my eyes sting. "You're the one who cursed him, aren't you?" Her smile dimmed. "Yes," she said. "He needed to change. And for a long time, he refused. I thought the curse would break with time," she continued. "But pride runs deep." I swallowed hard. "Do you think I can really break it?" She didn't answer right away. Then, softly, "You've already begun to." "But I don't even know if I love him," I admitted. I know I don't hate him." "That is enough," she said. "For now." Then her expression darkened. "But beware. Darkness is coming." My breath caught. "What do you mean?" But she was already fading. "Trust your heart, Hope. It will know what your mind fears." Then the mirror stilled. Only my reflection stared back, pale, uncertain, afraid. I turned away from it, heart pounding. 2 days had passed since the woman in the mirror, the guardian, spoke to me. I hadn't seen Kale since the night of our dance. Ilara said he was troubled. He walked around alone. Stared at the sky. Ate nothing. Said nothing. And me? I was scared. Not of him. Of this feeling inside me. What if I said the wrong thing? What if I made it worse? What if I wasn't enough to break the curse? So I stayed busy. Helped Ilara with the sheets. Cleaned dusty corners of the house that sparkled like it was alive. Then one afternoon, a butler ran into the laundry room, out of breath. He held something in his hand. "This just arrived," he said. "It's for you." He gave it to me. I saw the writing on the front. I couldn't read it, but I knew who it was from. My mother. The envelope smelled like home, dust, smoke, and kerosene. My hands shook. I looked at Alara. "Can you read it?" I whispered. "Please." She nodded and opened the letter carefully. Her eyes moved across the page slowly. Her face changed, first soft, then sad, then quiet. She looked at me. "It says," she began to read, "Hope, your brother Leo is sick again. The surgery helped, but the doctors say he needs more treatment. We don't have the money anymore. Please, we beg you, talk to the rich man who married you. Ask him for help. You are our only hope. Your mother." That was all. "No, how are you? No, we miss you. No, we're sorry. Just another request. Another use." Like I was still a rope for them to climb. Still a bridge. Still a tool. My fingers curled tight on the table edge. Alara folded the letter gently and placed it down like it might break. "Are you okay?" she asked softly. I nodded, but my voice cracked. "I'm fine." But I wasn't. That night, I found my way back to the garden, the same tree, the same moon. And there he was. Kale. Still silent. But when he saw me, he didn't look away. "Hope," he said in my mind, his voice low and tired. "Thank you for caring for me." He stood beneath the tree where we had once danced, his white fur silver in the moonlight, his blue eyes glowing. "I'm not just cursed to look like a beast," he said. "I'm cursed to live half a life, haunted by guilt, silence, and loneliness." He looked up at the stars. "But something is changing." I didn't speak. I couldn't. "The night we danced," he said, "I almost changed. I felt it. I was close. But the magic slipped away again." Then he turned to me. "You are the key, Hope. Your heart. Your pain. Your hope. They are stronger than magic." Tears welled up in my eyes. "But I don't understand. I'm nobody." He stepped closer. "No," he said. "You are everything they never saw. Everything they crushed. And still, you shine." Then his voice shifted, urgency curling in his tone. "Something is coming," he said. "A trial. A moment where you'll have to choose, me or your freedom." I froze. "What do you mean?" He shook his head. "Not yet. But when that moment comes, I hope your heart leads you right." In that garden, full of roses and moonlight and unsaid fears, I knew one thing. My heart wasn't mine alone anymore. That night, the sky turned black.